welcome to the corner office. In case you don't know me, my name's Chris Marchetti with Excel Courier. I'm here to talk about something really, really special. Every year there's a very special week. I'm not talking about Shark Week. I'm talking about Driver Appreciation Week. This year it's September 12th through September 16th, and it's an opportunity for us to appreciate our drivers. But before we talk any more about that, we have a very special guest today. Somebody I've known since ninth grade, somebody who was actually our third driver when I came back from LA in 1986. So without further ado, a man who helped make Excel the company it is today, I'd like to introduce you to John Uno.
Thank you, Chris.
So John, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, for those of you who don't know me, like Chris said, we've been friends almost our whole lives. I did start working for Chris way back when in 1986, 1985.
86, yeah.
So this marks my 36th year at Excel Courier. During that time period, I've been a driver, I've worked in operations, dispatch, just doing everything that needs to be done that in order to get things done, service our customers. We've been working hard side by side for a long, long time. So if you asked me 36 years ago, where would I see myself? This wasn't necessarily it, but I'm really, really proud of what we've accomplished over the years. When you look around and you see all the people that rely and depend on Excel, everyone from drivers to the warehouse personnel to office personnel, and when you think about all the lives we've touched over 36 years, it is amazing. Having gone through everything that's happened in the last 36 years, through 9/11, COVID, the good and the bad.
Yeah.
We've managed to continue to move forward, continue to provide service. So those are some things I'm very, very proud of that we've been able to accomplish.
Well, yeah, and John left off a little bit of stuff. Like when he started, we had a manual typewriter in a one-room office, and on Saturday, John and I would get together and we would type out the billing while having subs and vodka, I think.
Soda.
Vodka and soda. Oh, yeah, vodka soda. Yeah, anyway. But really, where the company is today, we wouldn't be where we are without John, and we wouldn't be where we are today without our drivers. And that's really a big point of why we're here, celebrating the drivers, because they're the unsung heroes of our business. People don't recognize them. The drivers come and go, right? They don't realize just how important drivers are, right, John?
I think a lot of that changed in COVID when suddenly the delivery guy was an essential person. When suddenly you couldn't get what you needed because you couldn't go to the store or chose not to, all of a sudden the guy that was underappreciated, obviously, in my opinion, is all of a sudden an essential part. And of course, if you really look at what happens, you don't get your bread, you don't get your eggs without delivery people. Drivers of all kinds, not just our Excel drivers, but truck drivers and people that operate, at any level. You don't realize how easy you have it. You can just pick up the phone and order your food now, and the driver comes and brings it to you.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So, the fact that people are now understanding that we really are essential and always have been, it's a nice thing for drivers for sure to understand, to see that people really appreciate them.
Right. You talked about how many lives we've touched over the years. And when you really extrapolate that out to a lot of the medical work that we do, you think millions of lives actually. We could have like the McDonald's sign, how many lives we affected over the years,
Yeah.
But delivering vaccine, life-saving medicine, and the drivers are the most important part of that. We can take the orders, we can dispatch the orders, but without those folks out there on the street hitting the road, making it happen, we couldn't do what we do. We wouldn't be as successful as we are.
No, exactly. And as I've said, we've gone through. If the current driver count is accurate, over 4,000 drivers in 30 some odd years. So some of those people we obviously remember. Some of them for good reasons, some not so much. But everybody contributed in one way or another. So to all the drivers that are out there that maybe I haven't seen you in a while, thank you. You definitely helped to build something special, and you did your part. So we appreciate that.
And to all you amazing people that want to be amazing drivers and part of something important, Well, thank you in advance for joining us. Some of the things we're going to be doing, we're going to have giveaways. We're going to give some football tickets. We're going to have raffles. We'll do a cookout meet and greets and all kinds of stuff like that, which is just a small way that we can thank, show our appreciation. Because every day, I always say, driver week should be driver month. They're like, well, forget it. It should just be driver all the time. They're so important to what we do and to our success and the success of people around us. So it's, that, as John said, so many different people have come and gone over the years that we've seen. Some very impressive people, some people that have been kind of scary, but we do our best. And our drivers nowadays, you think about, John, like how do you think like how the gig economy has affected our drivers?
Well, things have changed a lot because when I first started working, there was a small core of drivers, and they worked for the larger companies that are probably not all in existence anymore. But at some point in the evolution, Chris and I were having a discussion, and we discovered that you can't just go out and find drivers anymore. We had to make drivers. And that was the difference. So we had to take people that didn't have the area knowledge, they didn't have the experience. And you have to remember, this is prior to GPS, prior to technology. So we had to find people that could read maps. We had to find people that could follow instructions, find payphones. It was very, very different. And technology definitely helps in that it allows some people who don't necessarily have a well-rounded skill set to rely on the technology and still be very, very successful as drivers. When you're working with our dispatch staff or with any group of people and you can get your instructions and you have technology helping you with details, it's really, really helpful. And that helps us to make drivers because we're still in that position. And I think in a lot of cases, the passive driver recruit, the person who doesn't really know they want to be a driver, is the person that we get a lot of success with because they may come to us through the gig economy. They have some delivery experience. They understand the very basics of it, but what we do, especially with medical and some of our other vertical markets, is so different. It's so highly specialized, what we call high touch, and it's necessary for them to do more than drop a bag off in front of someone's door. So the gig economy is helpful and harmful, of course, because it does create an environment where a driver feels like he can just log in, log off for a limited period of time, and they can do that with the gig economy types.
Right.
But
Right.
for our particular needs, we need people that are dedicated to Excel for an entire 12-hour day or more sometimes, without taking a break for 3 hours in the middle. And of course, everybody has their own schedule, so we do a lot of accommodation for people who have another job, who have children, need to go get their kids from the bus stop. So we work along with our recruiting team to establish a network of people we can call that are available throughout the different time periods of a 24-hour day, because we are 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we get all the pieces in place and we're able to provide that service, whether it is somebody who's working 14 hours or they just work 10 hours a night or whatever it might be.
Right. So and the drivers need to have I think the gig economy kind of affected a little bit is that our drivers have to understand a lot about paperwork and procedure with a lot of this important medical specimens and medicines we're delivering, vaccines we're delivering, one-of-a-kind life-saving medicine that has to be iced or calibrated, and that it's these people need to be on their game just like we have to be, and that's why we appreciate them. And if we could do more to appreciate them, we're always working. The other thing is respect. Was something we hear a lot about from some drivers that come from other places and we try to treat our drivers with respect, and a lot of places seem like they don't. So trying to remember that, hey, the drivers are human beings just like everybody else, and they have their good days and bad days, and they got their stuff they're dealing with. So you have to respect these people. They're doing some stuff. They're going out there when you don't want to go out there, right? It's rainy, it's snowy, it's cold, it's late, it's Christmas, it's Thanksgiving, and there's people out there taking care of business. And so truly drivers are just so much important part of our foundation, and we appreciate them so much. So please join us in appreciating drivers the week of September 12th. Please join us in appreciating drivers all the time. And if I could, I'd do this. Driver appreciation. Hug your driver. John was my third driver. I'm appreciating him.
Hey, Hugo.
Oh, by the way, if you're a prospect or customer, please use Excel, because by you using us, you're helping us appreciate drivers too. They appreciate the work. We appreciate the work. So visit us at our website, www.excelgroup.com. www.excelcourier.com. Also on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. So as we like to say, we're moving lives forward every day. The drivers help us move lives forward every day. We appreciate them. Thank you so much for helping us move lives forward, and see you on the next corner office. Thank you for tuning in.